Yeah, so members, you're welcome for our weekly webinars on career mentorship and career growth. And so today we are discussing a very interesting topic. Today we are looking at how do you choose which scholarship to go for. In other words, you have a variety and you have many, so you are struggling to make a decision. Which one should you go for? Which one should you leave out? Which one should you invest your time on? And so I'm going to share with you some of my thoughts and some of the insights that I've been able to put together. And so it will be very interactive. And so you're welcome to add in your ideas and your thoughts as we discuss and deliberate. So let me begin from here. So scholarships or fellowships, very important. They are very important in advancing our career. They are very important in making us succeed in whatever we are pursuing, because some of them cover tuition, they cover living allowance, they cover family support, they cover stationery, they cover books, they cover laptops. And so because they give that supportive environment, you are able to pursue your studies well, and you are able to succeed in whatever you want to pursue. That's one fact. The other fact is that some scholarships are more prestigious because of the alumni, community than others. But also some scholarships and fellowships give more money than others. Some also cover more things and more items than others. And therefore, it means that the first person is you. The first person who is very candid is you. What are you looking for in a scholarship? What are you looking for in a scholarship? You may be coming from a humble background and you want to have a scholarship which covers your flight tickets, which covers your family, which covers your living allowance, which covers your tuition. Mention them. And because you know what you're looking for, you deliberately search for that you are looking for in the scholarships. So in other words, you will have a variety, and then you can begin skimming through. You say, okay, this one covers this one covers this, but for me, I'm not interested in this. I'm interested in the other. So I have hinted down around 5 points to look out for in the scholarships if you're going to choose one. The first thing to look out for is, what does it cover? It's extremely important to identify what the scholarship covers. And that information is always on their website, or it's always on their social media platforms, or it's always on their adverts. So they will always specify what they cover. Actually, some of them even specify how much they cover. That, no, for us, we cover this, we cover this. For us, we give this for the whole year. For us, we give this per term. For us, we give this per semester or per month. That information is very important, because you don't want to leave your home country and you go to another country and you begin starving, and you die of hunger, or you begin regretting why you came. Because those regrets, they make you not perform well. Those frustrations, they make you not perform, but also not excel like the way you had anticipated. So for me, the first condition is, what does the scholarship offer? That's number one. The second thing to think about is, which universities does it cover? Because some scholarships will go for specific universities. An example is MasterCard Foundation right now. It is not covering all universities in the UK or in the US. So it is going to this university, it's going to this university, or the other university. So that means that you need to have an idea of which university you want to go for. So it means that you need where you want to go for, okay, which university you want to go for comes first, because that is more important, very, very important. Where are you going? Then you say which scholarship covers or allows me to go to that university. Because even if they give you money in terms of a scholarship and they send you to a university which you don't like, or a university which has no course of your interest, or a university which does not teach well, or a university which courses does not align with your career vision and career plan, you will be so disappointed and you will not perform well. So for me, the second criteria is which universities or which schools does that scholarship go to, or does it allow? The third aspect I'm curious about is what other financial help does it give? What others? For example, maybe some of them, when you finish university, it gives you some money to start up a project. Some of them, when you are doing the master's course or the PhD, it gives you money for you to go for internship placement or field placements. Some of them allows you to go for international conferences. And those conferences are very important for networking. They are very important for capacity building. They are very important for you to learn from other people. Some of them also cover, they cover visa insurance, or they cover visa and air ticket and all that. So for me, looking out on what more does the scholarship cover is very critical. And again, that information is on their website. That information is readily on their website. The fourth criteria I would really look out for is when does it normally open? When does this scholarship normally open? Because if I realize that it mostly opens during this period and this period, and for me, I am already, I know this period I'm going to be pregnant, I know this period I'm going to be still breastfeeding. So I will say, okay, let me leave this one to first of all go. And then for me, I will consider this one, I'll consider the other one. I will consider the one which allows me to go during the other period. At that time, I will be okay. Or I will go for a one which has a longer period for me to prepare my application. You may find that some scholarships have a very short period of time. If the advert comes out today and they want to have the application by 16th of November. So you're like, my table is now full. I cannot engage into putting in an application right now. I better wait. I better first of all wait. The last criteria, which for me, I am very curious about, is does it cover full tuition or partial? Because you may find that even when it covers, if it covers partial, the remaining balance is always very hard for you to cover it, more so as from a very from humble backgrounds. So you may want to chase the one which covers full tuition. Now, I want you to be very careful, because sometimes you will sit on a scholarship and you begin feeling it and you begin applying and you spend 2 months applying only to realize it does not cover full tuition, or only to realize it only has tuition for nationals, not international students. So if you are applying, say, to South Africa, or you're applying to, say, in the US, you should remember that for you, you are applying as an international student. So when you are an international student, you should be careful if it covers international students as well. If it doesn't, then you need to think otherwise. You need to get plan B. You need to choose the one which covers everything, more so for international students. The other aspect which I found very useful that you need to be careful about is what other social support does it give when you are in that place. Some of them allow you to have get-together parties among, say, for example, if you are all Chevening scholars or Cambridge Trust scholars, on a monthly basis, they invite you to have lunch together and you chat with your colleagues and you discuss with your colleagues and you tell them how you're finding the course and how you're facing how you're finding reality, how are things moving on. So for me, I find that very important, and it's critical for you to consider that as well. What other support does it give? I mean, and I'm looking more into the social well-being, because you can be in a country and you just want to connect with fellow Africans or fellow Ugandans. And if the course does not give you that opportunity or that freedom, you can be in your own room and you're studying very well, everything is moving on, but you're so depressed. Yet if you just met a colleague from Uganda and you're chatting and you're laughing and you're hugging each other and you're talking about Kampala life and you're talking about life in Mbale, that can be enough therapy for you. And you'll continue studying and working hard and enjoying life. So for me, that support it gives in terms of mental health, in terms of the social well-being, is very critical. The other aspect I want to hint on is, does it support your children? Does it support family? I have two of my colleagues who have children, and we're on the same scholarship with them. And they are so bitter because the scholarship we have does not cater for their family, does not care for their husbands, does not care for the child, does not care for the child helper whom they came with from their country. Even when they were sending the air flight, the air ticket, they only sent the air ticket for one person, but this person has to fly with the husband or something like that. So it's important to double check all that as you're narrowing down on which one to go for and which one you should really spend your time on. The other aspect I want to say that some scholarships will ask for additional essays. Some of them don't ask for any additional essay. Why you're going for them? An example is the Cambridge. Gets Cambridge. So for Gets Cambridge, it will ask you to submit an essay. It will ask you to submit why are you choosing us? Why have you left other scholarships and you've chosen us? And so that's another very important aspect to consider as well. The other thing I want to also hint is that what conditions does it come with? I have found that in Canada and the US, the studentships which they have, they can give you a studentship on condition that either you are teaching undergraduate students, or you are working on a project, or you're working in the laboratory, or you're working on something. And so for you, if you think academically you are not strong in balancing between this teaching other people and yourself, or you're not strong on working on another project compared with another job, your master's program, you may say, no, I don't want this one. Let me go for the other one, which doesn't require me to do A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. The other aspect I want to hint on is that some scholarships require you to submit a proposal of what you want to work on. Now, from the experience I've had with prospective students, they tend not to be quite clear on what they want to do at master's level. They may not be quite clear on what they want to do at a master's level at the beginning. So if you are not yet clear on what you want to do for the masters, you may want to dodge that kind of scholarship. But for me, I highly recommend that by the time you go for a scholarship, you should be clear on which topic you want to work on or which skills you want to grow. Because if you're clear on the skills you want to grow, you'll be able to know which one you to go for and which one not to go for. again, just to emphasize, how is the competition? Because that is silent, but it is very critical. How is the competition? How many people are they recruiting in this year? If they are recruiting 10 people globally, you know it's very competitive. But if you know Chevening is recruiting 1,800 fellows from the whole world, you're like, 1,800, if I work hard, I can easily find myself among this 1,800. So the number they are recruiting is critical. The number. Than you saying, or like for example, the one I am on called the Cambridge Africa Changemaker Scholarship. It takes 6 from 55 countries every year. 6 from 55 African countries every year. And they are very clear that 80% are females. So in my cohort, which was last year, we are 6 and there are 5 ladies and I'm the only gentleman there. So it becomes a bit tight, a bit tight. If you're a gentleman and you're like, I'm the only, okay, if you know you're a gentleman and you know your ratio is only 10% and they're taking 5 or they're taking 6. So you know it's a bit tight and it's very competitive. So the other thing I want to also hint is that some scholarships will be keen to support you during the research data collection. And I think if your project is research intensive, if your project is research focused, you would be very interested on such a project than the one which is not, which does not support your research work. So in general, for you to make a decision what to go for and what not to go for, solely depends on you. Solely depends on you. So in other words, you have a variety. So you're saying, okay, I'm going for a buffet. So it is me. So if I'm going for a buffet, means that I have a lot of food around. There is matoke, there is rice, there is fish, there is chicken. Now, if I don't know what I want to eat, you end up either filling the plates or you end up failing to choose. So it means that by the time you stand up from your seat to go and begin serving, you need to first of all be clear that for me, I eat rice, I eat posho, I eat cassava, or I eat sweet potatoes. So when you go in the buffet, you are only looking for rice, sweet potatoes, cassava, and matoke. You don't get swallowed up with everything. Having said that, it is important for you not to put all eggs in the same basket. I would highly recommend that when you're choosing, you could choose around for me, because I know what it takes to make an application. I would highly recommend that you choose 4 nice, and I'm putting nice in quotes because it is you who defines the niceness. You choose 4 nice scholarships and you sit on them and you give them the attention they deserve. You keep time, you write essays, you fulfill their requirements which they are looking for, and then you can be able to shoot. So in other words, I wouldn't recommend that you just go for everything and you begin aiming at submitting to 10 scholarships and you end up not attracting any. If I'm interacting with the mentees, like I normally do under African Center for Career Mentorship, as long as they tell me that within the last 1 week, I have applied for 4 scholarships, I will definitely know the outcome they are going to get. Because I have an idea. I have an idea what it takes for you to prepare a scholarship application. I just want to give an example that I've been working with the 7 mentees and African Center for Career Mentorship. We began working on the Chevening essays on 1st of October. And the essays were ready for submission. Most of my members submitted yesterday, 6th of November. Actually, 4 submitted yesterday. 2 submitted on Tuesday. No, last week on I think Saturday, something like that. So we had around 5 meetings. We could meet every week on Saturday and Sunday to discuss what they have written. So it really takes time for them to prepare an essay. One of the things that I have also found useful is that the scholarships tend to have requirements and eligibility criteria like age and all those things there. And some people normally don't pay attention to that. They don't pay attention to that. Yet that's a very critical thing. So before you say, I am going for this one, you should first of all know, do you meet the eligibility criteria? The other day I met a gentleman who was saying, I'm applying for this one. Yet for me, I know very well that scholarship only favors not favors, but it supports the ladies alone. So I asked him, so did you know about this criteria? He told me no. I told him that's deadly. That is deadly. That is deadly because you've not done enough research about this scholarship. Then I met a gentleman yesterday who was submitting his application for Chevening. And he had chosen 3 universities because Chevening required that they should identify 3 universities. So he had just chosen 3 universities, this one, this one, this one. So during the final stages of the work, I asked him, do you meet the eligibility criteria for this university? Do you meet the admission requirement for this university? Actually, the university was Imperial College London. He said, I don't know. Said, for the last 5 weeks, you've been choosing this one when you don't know the eligibility criteria, when you don't know whether you can be admitted to it or not. I was telling him that actually, Chevening can give you money, but it will ask you to have to give an admission. And if you don't have an admission from any UK university, the money will be withdrawn from you. Actually, Chevening has a requirement that by 31st of January, you need to have an offer from a university in the UK for them to proceed with your application. So my message is that it is important for you to dig into the eligibility criteria before you begin saying, I want to go for this, I want to go for this, I want to go for the other. As I come to the end, I just want to also announce that Uganda, as Ugandans and the people in the East African region, we have UG scholarships groups, and there are quite a number. So they range from scholarship group number 1 to scholarship group number 9 as we speak right now. In those groups, we share various scholarships. And if you are on the call today and you are not in those scholarships, please let me know such that I can add you to those scholarship groups there, because we share verified information. Now, I should warn you that that scholarship groups, they are like a buffet because there is too much in there. We share a lot of good things. So if you don't know what you want to eat, if you have not listed down what you are looking for, you will end up being there and you fail to choose which one to go for. So for me, I would say the first thing to do is to first define what you want to go for. And you can decide on that with your mentor. You can decide on that if you have clearly visualized your career plan. If you're very clear on where you're heading, you will know what suits you or what can support you to go where you're heading. So for me, if you're not in those groups, I want to add you such that you can begin in the seeing those opportunities. Now, one lady told me in around July this year, because she had been added in March 2023, because I think somebody talked about it in Chambogo University. So for them, they knew that once they add you on the UG scholarships group, it means you have got a scholarship. So this lady said she was waiting for her name to be mentioned. I said, really? She said, yes. I said, okay. So I think in one of the meetings, I decided to shoot a recording like this one here, explaining to people what they needed to do when they get to those scholarships. Because you can be there, and as long as you are not clear on what you want, you end up getting nothing. So I also want to inform you that my colleague and my mentor who helped me to get scholarships is on the call. It's called Dr. Dandani Musinguzi, and he has an app he has developed. It is called Digest for Me app, and it is free. That app is free. Now that app has synthesized information. It has synthesized scholarship opportunities, and it has links to various resourceful YouTube channels and resourceful channels which can help you to get further information if at all you want. And in that app there, which is the Digest for Me app, you'll find our YouTube channel there, which is called the African Center for Career Mentorship. So you'll find it there. And we have explanations. We explain how to write CVs. We explain how to write personal statements. We explain how to prepare an application and all those things there. So my humble request to Dr. Dan is for him to share the link to the app such that members who are on the call, they can go to the buffet. But I should warn you that the app has very good information. Unless you're very clear on what you're looking for, you'll go to the buffet and you say there is nothing to eat, just because you haven't clearly defined what you are looking for. And my colleague Dan has a very good framework he has developed on that aspect of you being in a flood of many things, but you're starving. Dr. Dan, do you want to just make a small comment on that framework that you have and the new slogan you are using to describe that scenario, whereby we have over 3,000 people on the UG scholarships, but we have around 20 people applying for a scholarship, for example. Yet on a daily basis, many opportunities are shared. Dr. Dan, do you want to make a comment there? Dr. Dan, do you want to make a comment? I think I've lost him. I've lost him on the call. So if you want to join that app, just send me. I'm going to put my contact details here on WhatsApp. So you contact me my WhatsApp contact such that you can be able to continue. Actually, send us the link for the app on the name. Okay, Sandra, we shall be able to do that. Okay, so I think that is what I had wanted to share. But I wanted to tell you, for me, the take-home message I want you not to miss from this talk, because some of you joined a bit later, is that you first of all be clear on what you want. For example, there is a lady right now whom I'm mentoring, and for her, she didn't know what she wanted to look for in a scholarship. Number one, she had 3 children. So I told her, so for you, when you're looking for scholarship, don't go, you can't go for everything. You must be very careful which one is supporting you and your family. Because let me tell you, you'll get a scholarship for you alone. You'll go to Canada and you'll begin missing your children, and you'll stress, you'll face a lot of mental health challenges. Yeah. So I want you to be very careful when you are looking for. Actually, let's list them down. I want one going to, say, Europe. I want one going in African continent. I want one in Uganda. I want one in South Africa. Okay. I want one which covers the engineering. I want one which covers the social work. I want one which covers leadership. Okay. I want one which allows my age, because I'm 45 years old. I want one which covers this. So you need to be very, very careful with what you're looking for. Now, when you're reading through these scholarships, you begin saying, okay, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for the other. But I want to stop here and give you a chance to ask, such that I can respond to your inquiries regarding how to choose what to go for. So please feel free to ask a question now, and I will be happy to respond. You can just raise up your hand, or you can text, because you can text in the chat. We are few, so there's no problem. So I've sent you my contacts, so you can be able to can contact us. And if you have any questions about selecting what to go for, please ask now. So Alex is asking, do I need to pay any money when I'm applying for a scholarship? Most of them, they are free. Most scholarships, when you're applying, they are free. I have not come across one which requires me to first of all pay before I apply for that scholarship. But if you're applying for universities, some universities have what we call application fees. So those ones you have to pay. So there are two things you need to differentiate here. We have a scholarship and we have a university admission. They are two different things. Sometimes some universities give you a scholarship as soon as you have admission, but most cases an admission is a separate business from the scholarship. So in other words, you get admitted, that's step number one, then you get the money to go and study. That's step number two. So they are a bit different, but most of them don't ask you to pay. Most of them, they don't. So Sandra says, if you've taken long without studying, say 4 to 5 years after the undergrad, how do you know the right course to choose, especially if you lack experience in a certain known field? That's a very important question, Sandra. And at African Center for Career Mentorship, we have a program that supports you to discover yourself and discover your potential and discover what to go for. That's not a very small question. It's a very big question. Actually, we have designed a course next month. We have called it Personal Discovery Course. The course is going to run for 2 weeks. And it's going to help people who are not sure of which jobs to apply, but also which courses to go for and which careers to go for next. Many people struggle to define what to go for next. Maybe after the diploma or after the degree, or even after the master's degree. Many people struggle a lot. I was talking to my colleague who is on the call right now. I was talking to her, I think, on Sunday. I was telling her that I have a friend whom I'm mentoring. She finished her bachelor's in education, English and literature, and then she went for master's in public administration from UMY. And right now, she's not quite clear of what to do next. Okay, she's not sure of what to do next. She doesn't know. So we have been discussing through, and we have discussed, and we have now narrowed it down to what to do next. And actually, what to do next may not even be going for another master's or going for a PhD. It may just be going for a short course of 2 weeks, and you have solved that problem which you thought you need a full master's course. So if you are not pretty sure what to do next, we have sessions for that, and please just contact us and we will walk the journey with you. It does not take one meeting for you to discover that. It takes us averagely 4 meetings. And the 4 meetings, I'm referring around 4 weeks of walking the journey with you, because it causes for reflection. You're reflecting on yourself, and then after reflecting, you make a decision, and then you can shoot forward. Sandra, is that helpful? Actually, by the way, Sandra, for information, most universities want people who have taken 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 years break, because they attribute that break has allowed you to get experience. They think that break has allowed you to work. And because you have worked, when you come for your master's, you have thought, you have faced reality, you have faced the world, you have seen employment dynamics in that field. So you are better suited to make a better decision which master's to go for or which PhD to go for. Actually, they also know that when you have worked a bit, more so for us in the medical fraternity, when you have worked and you are writing essays during the master's program, the way you explain, the examples you give, the way you narrate, the way you expound your points is far better. Like somebody who just moved from senior, from the bachelor's, then the following year, they are in for their masters. They struggle to contextualize issues in their field. They really struggle a lot. So they end up, most of them, mastering only the notes they were given by the lecturer. But for you who has been working, when the lecturer is explaining this, you understand other things which are very important. Yeah. Okay, so Maureen, thanks for appreciating. Sandra says, what do you do if programs you are interested in don't fit goals of the scholarship, like Chevening or Cambridge? Like I want aviation management, but didn't find any scholarship that offers that. That's terrible. No, not terrible per se, but so don't waste time applying for these others which don't fit your program. So there are 2 things there. You either keep looking out until one day the one for aviation management comes through, or you can go to aviation airlines and tell them, guys, I want to do aviation management. Do you have any course? Do you have any course or scholarships to do such a course? And when they say no, you either step back and you go and save money, then you come and do it, or you change the course into what they cover. It's painful. It's painful. I must reduce the volume there. It's painful for you to turn away from what your heart wants to go to something just because the money is available, or that's what they cover. Yeah, it's tough, but that is the pain of being from a humble family. Let me speak like that. It's a pain of being from a humble background, because kids from able to do families, they will say, I want to go for aviation. Even if for you to become a pilot, you're paying 30 million a semester, the parents are able. So they say, oh no, my daughter, let's go. My son, let's go. Because the funds are available. Because they planned for, that's what we know. That's in Uganda, they keep saying planned kids or planned children. So they planned some time back. It's painful, but it's the reality. Because when somebody is giving you money, they are pursuing their agenda. So it's not about you, it's them. They are pursuing something. You are just fitting in. And if you don't fit, get off the way. There's somebody else who fits in what they are looking for, or what they want to achieve, or what they want to portray. Maganda says, does experience matter? Say I did agriculture and I've never practiced, and yet I want to do masters in agric. They really matter. They extremely matter. They extremely matter. So there are two ways to get around it. Either you have a clear explanation why you've not been practicing agric, because for them, I'm telling you that when I say them, I'm referring to people who are reviewing on the other side of the coin. They interpret that as somebody who is not passionate about what you studied at undergrad. If at undergrad you did agriculture, and for the last 4 years, you've been practicing IT, but you are from a country where agriculture is the backbone of the economy. You are from a country where 73 people are into agriculture. And if you didn't put your expertise into use, then they interpret it that you're not interested in agric. Now, when you come to apply, if you apply for a master's in IT, which you've been practicing for 4 years, they will receive you with open hands. They will receive you with, they say, oh yeah, although you did BS agric, but you've been practicing for 4 years IT, and that IT has inspired you to go deeper for a master's in IT, they find that you love it. Because what these scholarships are looking for is called a better fit or a best fit program. Because it is very painful for them to give you a scholarship, and when you report to a university for 2 weeks, you pull out or you drop out of the course, you're like, I don't want it. It is not the master's I was looking for. So for them to avoid that, they try to correlate what you studied, what you have been doing, to help them to predict whether you like what you're promising to go and do. But Nazib, of course, for me, I know you. I know although you did BS agric, but I just want to help you understand that what you've been practicing more so in your first job, which you worked for around 3 years before this current one, you can link it to agriculture, because you were applying agriculture economics. Maybe we can talk more privately about that, because you've been doing a lot of work with the farmers, and you've been applying agric economics. So I don't think you should get worried so much in that line. You shouldn't get worried. We can talk more individual about that, and we see how to coin the statement of purpose, or to how to coin our application, because it matters. You must explain why you've not been practicing. If you're from a place like, say, South Sudan, and you're saying, I finished the bachelor's in Makerere in 2021, and there has been a war in South Sudan, and I've not got a chance to practice, that is understandable. Very, very understandable. If you say that I did a bachelor's in psychology, and in Uganda, they abolished the Ministry of Psychology the same year I graduated, and they blocked us from applying for any job using psychology papers. That is very understandable. So in other words, in the explanation, in the application, you must explain the gap or why you deviated. Yeah, it's very important, because for them, they interpret that you're not interested, you lost passion. And for them here in developed countries, passion is more important than anything else. If somebody is passionate about anything, they will build it, they will learn it. even if it requires them doing online tutorials or online courses or online classes. As long as they love something, they will go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Any other question? We still have some 3 minutes. Okay, so thank you so much. It was nice speaking to you. The big message is don't go to the buffet without clearly agreeing, okay, clearly deciding what you want to eat. Because you will go there and you will struggle. You will go there and you will struggle. You will struggle to get what to eat in majority. Alex, 2:15 is just like yesterday. Those are around 7 years from now. So there's no problem because you've been practicing. There are so many scholarships, Alex. Very many. Very many. Very many. I was speaking to a lady from Kenya on Sunday, and she graduated in 2000 and I think 8, and she has been working, and she's here now at Cambridge doing her MPhil in developmental studies. Yeah. So if you've been working and you have experience, and we can now use that experience to make a very strong case for your candidature. You can use that, and we make a very strong case that actually you deserve to go to school, or you deserve to be admitted. It's about crafting. When I mean crafting, I mean it is about how you write and how you compose the story. Yeah. So those are my contacts. Please feel free, contact me, and then we can continue the conversation on. And I want to thank you for creating time to come and learn with us. We will see you next Tuesday again at the same time, 7 to 8 p.m. Ugandan time. So thank you, and we will see you soon.